Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the historic Open Wheel Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 5, race 2 at Long Beach in the Lotus 78, and we're getting ready for a start to this race. It is Bidzster who gets pole position yet again from Andrea in the top left corner if you look. So Bidzster from Andrea, Spapper in 3rd, Cyrex 4th, TY 5th, Neil in 6th, Blakeney gets 7th, Callum 8th, Growly Bear 9th, and it's Stacker in 10th and Brad is in 11th. So Stacker gets back in this one. So let's get ready for a start to this race, guys, as we get ready for a start. So here we go. 32 laps, pit stop race as well. So we've got pit stops to do and we're off. Bidzster gets another blinding start, and then in the middle we've got a few cars that have come together, I think. You've got a contact at the back. Blakeney's up in the air and a few other people as well, and we've got Stacker in the air. Bradders has got caught up in that TY as well, Blakeney, so it all happened there. We'll get some replays after the first lap, but Bidzster's through turn 1. He's in the lead. Then it's Andrea from Spapper into the roundabout. Cyrex behind them as well as they go through that corner there. So already the field's strung out a bit after that first corner melee, or not even the first corner. Literally just off the start line. As Spapper very close to those tyres. Cyrex behind him now. Remember guys, you cannot pit on the first 2 laps. Pit window is between 3 and 30. So that's the pit window as Cyrex goes up around the outside of Spapper. Gets a run on him, but he's on the outside. There's no way through there. Oh no, there's definitely no way through there, and then he puts himself in the wall. As Spapper shouldn't have to wait for him there. He should be able to just get going. Yeah, Spapper gets going. Cyrex very opportunistic around the outside there, and he's about to get mugged even more now because he's got TY and Blakeney coming up to the back of him as well, and he's got Growly in front of him. Little tap there as TY's up the inside of Blakeney in the background as we go side by side into the next corner. Blakeney versus TY around here somewhere. There we go. TY goes out wide and Cyrex has hit Growly, I think, as we go into the corner, and he's side by side with him now. So plenty of contact on that first lap and more contact now. Wheel to wheel stuff there, but we'll just get some replays on that first lap action now. Okay, here's a look at the start then, on board with Callum then. So watch as Blakeney gets a good start. And Neil comes across towards TY and then bang into the wall. Causes a massive concertina effect. Growly gets through and a few of the cars end up on the view from Stacker's view. So Blakeney gets a good start. Neil will come across on TY here, comes across and across and across into the wall. Stacker has nowhere to go, hits him, and then Bradders hits Stacker from behind, can't avoid him, up in the air, and then miraculously faces the correct way. And then now last of all, here's the view from Growly's point of view. So we go, watch the yellow car on the left. Neil comes across, hits TY, it all happens, and we just slow down. How we got through that, I do not know, but Growly, reactions of a cat, Cyrex, see what happened between them two on the first lap. So into the corner, Cyrex turns in, Spapper obviously going for the line, and then Cyrex just runs out of room into the wall, so no one's fault really. On lap 1, this is Growly Bear now in front of us, and Growly comes across, Cyrex can't really do anything there, Growly comes across, contact, and then into the corner. Cyrex gets a good run out and takes the position. With a bit more contact before that though. As we come back from that then, TY looking at Growly Bear and also Growly looking at Cyrex. So Cyrex defends in the yellow car, TY on the inside as well, trying to follow him through, front past Growly, who gets run out wide. Blakeney tries to get past as well, 4 cars into one into the roundabout. Cyrex 5th, TY, then it's Growly from Blakeney, so really trying to fold the cars down into there is Neil Farmack with Stacker behind him as Neil Farmack loses it into the wall, just misses the braking point and goes into the wall. Unlucky there for him. Meanwhile at the front, Bidzster with a commanding lead in that car. Andrea in 2nd place, who hits the wall as Spapper and Callum go through there as well. There's Cyrex and TY. There's Callum and Spapper going through, so Callum up to 3rd place after all that first corner stuff. There's TY close to the wall there in the background. He's in the green number 1 car there. So TY goes through. So spreading out a little bit now the field, but again it could close up at any point, you never know. As we go through those few corners there, Bidzster then in the lead on the straight with Andrea trying to follow suit. Here's Callum and Spapper, Callum with Spapper right on his tail. So it's just starting lap 3 now, so the pit lane window will open as they cross the line. And they can pit any time now up to lap 30, so a long way to go in this race still. As we go down to the first corner with Callum and Spapper. Callum into the apex, goes very wide though, very wide, and Spapper goes through, but then he loses it himself, I think. Spapper's lost it himself, he's facing the wrong way as he turns the car back round, and he rejoins there, as Blakeney there right behind him there. So Spapper rejoins in 6th place, that's not helped his race, and his teammate Growly's not far off him, so All changed there then as Spapper makes a mistake there on the outside. As TY and Callum then close together. Obviously Callum goes back to 5th place there. TY in 4th. Sarex goes back through to 3rd now. He's trying to catch up to the leaders again, but Bidzster and Andrea are already through this bit. There's Bidzster in the lead. Sliding his way through there towards the hairpin, and into the hairpin we go. Turns the car in, gets on the power and goes out the corner as Andrea then follows him. Will anyone go for an early pit stop here? As we look at Cyrex and TY going through towards the hairpin. There goes Cyrex with TY behind. Well, will anyone go for a really early pit stop here? I don't think anyone will, to be honest, because they want to try and get a little bit further into this race. As we go across the line then. Blakeney back here in 7th place. There he is in the white car, and Growley behind him. Stacker all the way back in 10th. Bradders still struggling to get used to this game on the wheel, so don't expect any good results from Bradders with it from the rest of this season. He'll probably be better next season because these cars, as he hits the wall, are really hard to drive anyway. So no disrespect to Bradders, but they are. He's got a new racing wheel, and he's chucked himself into the deep end with these older Formula 1 cars. So. Hopefully better things to come from Bradders in the near future as he decides, right, let's do the pit stop now. Let's get it out of the way. So Bradders comes into the pits to do his pit stop early. As Bidzster goes through then in the lead. 3 seconds ahead of Andrea now. Really pulling out a nice gap here is Bidzster. Into the corner and sliding the car out. Bidzster loves this car. Sliding the car round through towards the hairpin. Into the hairpin we go. Get the power on, drift the car out. A really nice car, this Lotus 78. Can really get hold of it and really rag it as Spapper closes up to the back of Callum. The Lotus 78, a car that was driven in 1977 and 1978 by Ronnie Peterson and Mario Andretti, designed by Colin Chapman. As Callum goes into the pits, so Callum makes a very early pit stop there as well. So Callum early into the pits, so different strategies here then. Obviously people confident that the tyres will last the rest of the distance by pitting early, so a few different strategies here then, so we'll have to see how that's going to work out. As Brad is obviously going back round, he's coming out the pit, so he's got to keep within the yellow line. As he crosses the yellow line, or was he actually getting out of the way there of someone? We'll have to see, but yeah, Callum's in the pit box now. He's up on the jacks getting his tyres changed, so he's coming through as I think, was that Bidzster coming through to it wasn't coming through to lap him, it was someone else. As Bidzster goes down to the next few corners. So Callum then on his way out of the pit lane after having his stop, right down towards the end, and then you're supposed to keep within the yellow and blue lines, and then towards the first corner, then turn into the first corner after the lines. We'll just see if Callum does it right here. Through the green cones, limiter goes off. As he comes out the pits here, watch the blue and yellow lines. So he keeps within the blue, keeps within the... he's crossed the yellow line. He's crossed the yellow line, Callum, so that could incur a penalty of some sort, so you never know, but we'll have to see. So a lot of people thinking it was just the end of the blue line, but no, I did say on the night it was within the blue and yellow line. And once the lines are finished, you can turn into the corner, but yep, obviously a few people not getting the memo as Bidzster then drifts his way around in his car as Cyrex in 3rd, TY 4th, Spapper in 5th. Closest battle on track at the minute is between Neil and Growley. They're close-ish on track, but not what you call particularly close. As Stacker then in 9th place. Still trying to get used to the car. Slides the car round. Comes the TY's teammate. Hence why he's in the green car. And he sounded like you were out of gear then, so... don't know why he's putting the clutch down to change direction, but that is a weird one on me, but we'll have to see how that goes for the rest of the race as Neil Farmack then comes through to lap Bradders. As he laps Bradders, Bradders keeps to one side, and it's Growley who's next on his hit list. As we go up towards the next few corners, Growley bears turn to get through past Bradders here. Bradders should move to one side and just let him through nicely. He should do anyway. We'll see. He's moving to the right. He's going to slow down before the corner. Is he? Yes. He lets Growley go around the outside of him. Very nicely done as Growley holds on to a nice little slide out the corner there as well. And up towards the hairpin we go. So Andrea in 2nd place then. Not able to stay in touch with Bidzster. Bidzster pulling away from the pack and Cyrex closing up to Andrea. So Bidzster on pace here. He's just lapped Callum. Bidzster just laps Callum. Because obviously, remember, he's done his pit stop early though, Callum. So we'll see if that stays as it is. But obviously, Callum and Brad has done early pit stops here. Stacker's not quite done one yet. Lap 6 out of 32, and he's still holding the clutch down as he goes down the corner, which is really, really weird. Look, Crowley's closed up to Neil a bit more now, so he's gone from a 1.5 second gap to a 1 second gap, but he does make a little mistake at that other corner, which will not help his cause. It's gone back up to 1.5 there, as you can see at the top of your screen. Almost 2 seconds now, so one little mistake cost him about a second. But Neil runs wide there as well, so both of them losing time and gaining time to one another. And at that corner we go. Sarek goes down the straight then as Bidzster goes through the back section of track. He's about to lap Stacker now. He's coming up to more traffic. Lap 8 out of 32 as he slides the car sideways. Still pushing hard. Let's have a look at how Andrea goes around that corner as we go out of this corner here. Here's Andrea's version. Bit more smoother, a bit slower, but still gets the job done. As Bidzster then comes up to the back of Stacker, he's about to lap him. He should be able to do it on the start and finish straight, if not sooner, we'll see. As he goes up towards Stacker then. Into the right-hander, into the complex. Slides the car out. Stacker is on the racing line. He's have to wait until after the hairpin to pass him. Into the hairpin we go. Stacker runs really wide. Bidzster hops up the inside and takes the place. There we go. Gets him on acceleration and takes the place ahead of Stacker. Well, not takes the place, but laps him, should I say, to be technically correct. Spapper then in 5th place, a bit more spread out now. TY in 4th, quite a bit up the road. Neil Farmack and Growley, a bit more of a gap between them now, so Growley must have made a mistake somewhere. There he is in the blue car. So Growley gone backwards here, made some kind of mistake. Meanwhile, Callum moves out the pits. He's actually catching Stacker up, and Stacker's not pitted yet, so Callum not doing too bad here. But remember, Callum did pit very early, so he could be in contention for maybe a top 8 position here, so we'll have to keep an eye out on Callum throughout the course of this race. But obviously we'll have to see if his tyres go off towards the end, because he has pitted earlier. So we'll see what difference that makes. As Sarek then starting to catch up to Andrea slowly. He's 2 seconds off Andrea now, and TY's only 3 seconds behind him, so he's pulling TY along as well. But Sarek's definitely the man on the move here then, as well as Bidzster, who's extending his lead even more now. It's gone from 6 to 9 seconds. So into the left-hander, sliding the car round into the hairpin. Turn the car in, get on the power. Love the car control here. As we go over the line, let's have a look at Cyrex then. He's catching up to Andrea. So this is going to be the battle on track then, because Cyrex is catching up to Andrea. But TY's also staying with Cyrex as they come through to lap, as they'll be coming through to lap Callum in a minute. Callum's right behind Stacker as well, so this is for position as well. But remember, Callum's already pitted, Stacker hasn't yet. As we go down to the first corner then, Stacker goes wide, Callum goes on a nice line there, but they've got the leaders coming up as well. So this could get interesting here, as Callum then, he's already got Andrea right behind him, so Andrea looking for a way through the traffic. Callum moves to one side, Stacker has to move to one side as well, but Andrea just goes straight through, have that. So Cyrex now, it's his turn to get through, he's past Callum. Now it's his turn to pass Stacker, and Stacker should stay to the left here to let Cyrex through. I think he's going to let... Oh, he's going to let Callum through. He's let Callum through by accident. He's let Callum through, thinking it was TY, but he gets on with it now. But now he moves out the way of his. He's going to move out the way of his teammate. He's got to move out the way of his teammate somehow. Oh, into the wall and hits his teammate. That's not what you want to do. Oh no, he's hit his teammate. Has Stacker still let him go yet though? Yes, he has. But I've not helped TY's race, but also Callum took advantage there while Stacker was being extra generous. So let's see if anyone else has pitted yet. So Callum's still, Bidzster still going around at the front. There's Andrea with Cyrex right behind him now. So Cyrex only 1 second behind Andrea now, so still staying within touching distance through that traffic. TY was the big loser in that one. He's gone right backwards there after trying to lap his teammate and lap Callum. As I think Growley's in. Yep, Growley's in the pits. So Growley's just come out from his pit stop there. So Growley coming down the pit lane then. Callum is going to be ahead. Growley's going to be behind. So Growley in on lap 10 for his pit stop. Let's see if anyone else pits. Got Andrea, there's TY. Spapper, is he in the pits? No, he's not. Let's see if Growley comes out the pit lane correctly. Let's see if he can do it. as the limiter goes off. He's got a car coming down, I think. They should stay to the other side of the line as Blakeney does. Oh, and Growley crosses the yellow line as well. So none of them doing what they should do, really. So hopefully none of these will cause an incident, but yep, not good really. They should all stay within that blue and yellow line towards the end and then move across to take the corner. But Blakeney gets up the inside of him and takes the position. Oh, just so shall I say, laps him. But Blakeney very opportunistic with the lap in there, wanting to really try and get past as early as possible. But Andrea and Cyrex then. Cyrex in front of Andrea. Cyrex has passed Andrea. And we go across the line, so we'll just get a replay on that pass now. Okay, here's a replay of how Cyrex passed Andrea then. So Andrea gets held up by Bradders a little bit here. Then he gets held up a bit, then Cyrex goes straight through the middle and then takes the inside for the next corner. As they go down here, moves across, a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there as well. As Cyrex goes through then on the inside, Andrea back down to third. As we come back from that then, TY's about to lap Bradders on the straight, so Bradders moves to one side in the black car. His teammate Bidzster leading the race by 11 seconds from the battling Andrea and Cyrex as we go towards the first corner then. Cyrex runs wide and there's contact. Oh, they hit each other. Cyrex has gone round, Andrea's waiting, so there's contact there, definite contact. Andrea thinks it's his fault. TY goes through. So TY's gone through. He's going to have to let TY go as well if he's going to let Cyrex through, but we'll get a quick replay on that now. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Cyrex and Andrea then. So going into the corner, Cyrex goes a bit deep, Andrea just runs into him, can't really do anything, hits him off, and then he spins round, and then they both, and Andrea waits for Cyrex, TY goes through, and they all sort each other out. As we come back from that then, Cyrex and Andrea make contact, and then obviously TY's took advantage of that after Andrea let Cyrex back through, but carrying on from that, TY second, Cyrex third, Andrea fourth now. Lap 12 of 32 in this race. We go towards the corners. TY playing gambling with the wall, playing poker with the wall, really trying to get as much out of the corner as he could, and just about keeps the car on track. And then into the left-hander, and then the hairpin will follow this. Into the hairpin. TY's not going to be good around here because the controller's not very good around the hairpin. If Cyrex gives him a little hurry up there. So Cyrex gives him a little hurry up. But TY not phased as Andrea doesn't pit either. Let's see, Bidzster's not pitted yet, but he's 18 seconds ahead now because they're all battling. So we can cruise at the front. Andrea in fourth. Spapper fifth. Is he going to pit this time? He's taking a narrow line. No, he's not. Blakeney, will he pit this time? I don't know if he will, but Stacker in ninth round here somewhere. He's just come out the last corner. Callum's pitted already, remember. Callum's pitted already. Will Blake? Nope, not this time. Neil Farmack, he might. I don't know if he's going to though, but we'll focus on the battle for second place then. TY and Cyrex on track. None of these have pitted yet. The only people that to my knowledge, that have pitted so far is Bradders, Growley and Callum. They're the only ones that have pitted so far. As we go into the next corner then, TY takes a nice line into that corner and still playing really close to that wall. Down to the next corner, Cyrex behind, still trying to pressure TY, but he might not even try and go for a move yet. He might just try and pressure TY for a bit, get TY to pull him along, but we'll see. But yes, this Lotus 78, a fantastic car, designed and built by Colin Chapman. There's in the background, Andrea makes a big mistake and then he goes into the pits. Thinks, right, okay, I've made a mistake here, I'll go into the pits. But yeah, this car ran in 1977 and 78, piloted by Mario Andretti and Ronnie Peterson. So two legends of Formula One. Unfortunately, Ronnie Peterson lost his life in one of the Lotuses, but still a very good talent he was back in the day. So, Colin Chapman, one of the most legendary car builders and designers in history, in Formula One history, that is anyway. Really good designs. Obviously, the Lotus 78, one of the first cars to be tested out for ground effect, and that's what started the ground effect revolution into the late 70s, early 80s. So, this was one of the first cars to trial that, because you can see the front wing doesn't really have much of an effect on the car at all, and you can see the little air suction bits. So this car does actually have ground effect. As we go into the corner. Cyrex runs very wide there. Cyrex runs very wide, but he's pushing really hard. He's sliding that car around all over the place. Into the hairpin we go then. Into the hairpin and out of it. As Andrea, he's obviously out of the pits already and he's going for it, but Bidzster's out in front, sliding the car. He's actually almost up to lapping Andrea here, but don't want to be doing that. Andrea doesn't really want Bidzster to lap him. I'll get my words out some way, shape or form, ladies and gentlemen. We will get there somehow. But yeah, Andrea doesn't really want to get lapped by Bidzster because otherwise he's not really have a chance to get further on in this race. But he's just made a mistake, so he might have to let him through in a minute. Blue flags will be waving as TY and Cyrex then they're having a little battle as well. Into the next corner, there's still a bit of gap between them as Bidzster then comes through to lap Andrea. This is not what Andrea wants because he's just pitted. He needs to try and make up time, not lose it. But Bidzster's that far ahead, he's actually lapped him anyway. So Bidzster's lapped Andrea because he's done his pit stop, but Bidzster hasn't pitted yet. We'll see if Bidzster pits at some point. I don't know when, as Andrea almost hits the back of him. Very close stuff there. But Bidzster then gets out in front as TY then still in second place from Cyrex. Spapper in fourth, Blakeney fifth, Neil sixth place. I don't know whether he's pitted yet or not, but I know Andrea has, but I don't think Neil has pitted just yet. And Stacker pitted yet, I don't know as well. As Stacker and Bradders then, they're quite close, but Stacker's actually lapped Bradders, even though Stacker's in 9th and Bradders in 11th, but not having a good race is Bradders here. Cyrex is in the pits. Cyrex is in the pits, so Cyrex decides to pit on lap 15. Down the pit lane he goes, so TY's free for a bit. Spapper will have to get a few fast laps in if he wants to catch him. But this is the time of the race to do the pit stop. In the middle of the race, roughly, do the pit stop. See if Cyrex's pit stop is obviously right at the end of the pit lane. There he goes into his box, up on the jacks, and they start changing tyres. There goes Stacker, and let's have a look for a few of the cars. There's Neil Farmack, his teammate. Is he going to win the pits this time? No, he's not. Cyrex is going to come out the pits. Blakeney's come through in fourth. Remember, Blakeney's not pitted yet either. Neil Farmack's coming through his teammate now. There's a massive gaggle of cars coming down. They've got to keep to the other side of the pit lane thing because Cyrex is there. Cyrex is coming out the pits. Obviously, they're all in front of him, so that's fine. But Cyrex, as he goes to the end of the yellow, he just remembers to at the last minute. There we go. So Cyrex just about keeps it within the yellow. That's what you should do, ladies and gentlemen. As Andrea then behind Bidzster. So Bidzster's still in front here of Andrea. So he's going to come up to lap Cyrex as well if he's not if Cyrex isn't careful. So he comes up to lap Growly Bear now. Into the next few corners behind Growly Bear. Growly Bear should move out the way on the next straight. Should keep to one side. Bidzster goes to the right. Growly keeps to the left. And next it's teammate next. Quite a few cars in one here, not all necessarily battling for positions, but as Bidzster gets a massive slide on there out that corner, really trying to put his foot down now because he knows Cyrex is pitted and Cyrex will be dangerous on new tyres as Bradders has lost it out that corner. Bradders loses it and he's gone back a few, well not a few more places, but quite a bit further back in time as I think that was Andrea having a move on someone there, just trying to lap Growly Bear. So Andrea there in 7th place. Bidzster then, will he pit this lap or will he try and keep going? Stacker's there in 9th. Will Bidzster pit this time? Yes, he does. He thinks, I'll pit this time, get out of the traffic, and there's Neil Farmack in front as well. He's a lap down, so he's in front of Bidzster as well. So a couple of cars in the pits now. TY's in 2nd place. Now, will he go and take the lead or is he going to actually try and do his pit stop? So we'll have to see here. As he closes up, Spapper then in 3rd. He's back here. Here's Cyrex in 4th, but he's still quite far back. As Blakeney goes through, Blakeney's in the pits as well, so Blakeney's just come out from his pit stop. Neil's in for his, and Bidzster's in for his as well. There's Neil, and Bidzster's pit stop will be right at the end, I think. So Bidzster's gone all the way through the pits. So there we are, peels into his box, and up he goes. So Blakeney then rejoins the track. Let's see if Blakeney can rejoin properly as we go down the pit lane. Neil will be next to check out. Down the pit lane, then Blakeney comes through, past the blue, past the yellow. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. As we come out down the pit lane now with Neil Farmack and Bidzster's behind. TY's in as well. TY's in the pits. Is Spapper in the pits as well? I don't know. Spapper's gone through. But will Neil Farmack do it properly here? We didn't actually see there, but Bidzster will do it properly. We all know Bidzster will, but we didn't actually see properly there. But Neil resumes there in 7th place. Spapper then takes the lead of the race for now, but he's not pitted yet. TY's pitted. Now where will he come out in parallel to Cyrex? There goes Cyrex. There's TY's coming out of the pits. Got to keep within the yellow line. Is he? Even TY crosses the yellow line. So only a couple of people getting this pit lane right. So that could have consequences on their races, but we'll see. As we go down to the next corner then. So TY back in third. Bidzster's in second, but obviously he's catching up to Spapper. But he hasn't done a pit stop yet, Spapper. So Bidzster, your theoretical leader. TY in second place going to be, and then it'll be Cyrex in third, as Andrea then not helped by being lapped by Bidzster, who's back in fifth. But Bidzster pushing now. He's behind Neil Farmack, who's about to lap. And Spapper, is he going to come in the pits yet? No, he's not. So Neil Farmack down the straight, then he should be able to get Neil Farmack into the first corner maybe. As we draft down towards the first corner. There'll be blue flags waving for Neil Farmack at some point. As we go, there we are, slows down just before the corner. Bidzster takes the inside and goes through. So Bidzster laps Neil Farmack, as Spapper then just in front of him in the blue car there. Bidzster in the black Lotus colours along with Bradders. Slides the car through there and then gets back on the power. Out of there, slides the car again. Good car control as TY then in third place for now. Cyrex in fourth, still chasing him down. And meanwhile, got a battle for position back here as well. Stacker versus Growly, or is it? No, Stacker's in the pit. Sorry, Stacker's finally done his pit stop, so he's in on lap 17. So Stacker into the pits then. He'll go into his pit box in a moment, and he'll come out the pits at the other end. So slows down for his box, stops, and up on the jacks. As Bidzster now right behind Spapper. This is a battle for position, remember. So Spapper does not have to give this up. But I wonder if Spapper will pit this lap or he'll keep going. I don't know. But Bidzster gets a good run, and Spapper, no, he doesn't pit this time. So he's going to have to get past Spapper on track then. As we go down towards the next corner, there's Stacker coming down the pit lane. Bidzster closes up to Spapper here. Doesn't really have to go for this move, but he's going to go for it anyway. Down the inside into turn one. Bidzster takes the lead back. So even though Spapper's not pitted yet, he takes the lead back into the roundabout. And first position goes back to Bidzster. It would have done anyway, but still Spapper's yet to pit. Let's see if Stacker comes out the pits alright. He's coming out the pits now. Callum ahead. I think Callum went right to the end as well, as Stacker should go right to the end as well. Oh, Stephen Stacker cuts it. The yellow line is, and TY's in the wall. TY's in the wall. So Cyrex then goes back through to third place, and TY hits the wall in fourth. Was the contact? Replay. Okay, here's a quick replay what happened to TY. So Stack's coming out the pits, then into the corner, and TY just goes straight on, misses his braking point, and then Stacker lets Cyrex go through. As we come back from that then, TY rejoins in fourth place then after that mistake. So TY rejoins in fourth position. So all the field a bit more spread out now, but again, one mistake could make all the difference in the race. You never know. Got to stay frosty for all the race. As we go through that corner with TY then. Spapper's still not pitted yet. So Bidzster there in front of him, still trying to stay with Bidzster, get some pace out of him, using him as a bit of a follower, as a ghost car, but Spapper trying to stay with him, but Bidzster just pulling away. Bidzster loves these cars, and he's pulling away at quite a rapid rate here. Spapper second place. Neil Farmack in seventh. Not really seen much of him in this one. Did I see another yellow car in the pit lane there? Oh, no, it must have been me seeing an advertising board of some sort. So there goes Neil Farmack into the, when the camera gets to the areas, into the first corner, into the roundabout. As I was saying earlier, this Lotus 78, a really revolutionary car in Formula 1. It was one of the first ones to run ground effect. One of the wonderful ideas that got brought up by Colin Chapman and his Lotus team. Really nice car, really old school as well. With the wider wheels at the back and narrower wheels at the front. Ford Cosworth V8 in the back, and 5-speed manual transmission as well. So yeah, you have a clutch pedal, obviously, because modern F1 cars use flicker paddling. It's all done for you. But yeah. 3 pedals and a actual gear stick, so proper driving in my opinion. But I don't know, don't get me wrong, modern F1 drivers are still quite skilled at what they do, but nothing compared to what they used to do back in the day, when they used to have no power steering. There was H-pattern gearboxes, clutch pedals, and really bumpy cars and hard to drive. basically just fuel tank, a fuel tank with wheels. So really nice cars to look at and to drive, and obviously the sound as well, really good. The V8 Ford Cosworth, one of the most popular F1 engines of all time, widely used, mainly because of the cheapness and the reliability of the engine, but really good chassis as well, built by Lotus. And one thing Lotus could do is build a car that could go around corners, and they've always been able to do that, Lotus, and this car proves that, because it goes around the corner like it's on rails. Obviously the back end slides out because of the old school feel to it, and it's got the old school car. Back end does like to step out, but you've got to grab hold of the wheel with your own two hands and really try and sort it out yourself. So it's a really good driver's car, this, as were all the old F1 cars, all driver's cars, separated the real men from the boys. So as we go out of that corner then, Spapper finally comes in for his pit stop then. Spapper in for his pit stop on lap 22 out of 32. You can see Cyrix going around the hairpin in the background, followed by Neil Farmack, or whichever way around it is. So Cyrix will go through here, there he goes, it's Neil Farmack in front. So Cyrix coming up to lap his teammate here, but Cyrix goes through and takes second place back. TY should come through and take third place back, as Spapper, I don't think he's even at his box yet, so he'll be rejoining somewhere around Andrea and Blakeney, I would imagine. So down to the end of the pit lane, into his box, stops on the marks, and he's getting his pit stop service done now as Andrea comes down the pit lane there, or down the start finish straight. So he's going to take the position from Spapper. Spapper then comes out the pit lane now. Andrea's gone through. Where's Blake? He's back here, so Spapper should rejoin a safe 5th place here. We'll just see if he can do the pit lane properly, unlike everyone else's. I think you'll see a car in the wall down at the first corner. It was Andrea. I think he must have outbraked himself, but here comes Spapper down the pit lane. Will he get it right? Down to the corner. Yes, he goes all the way to the end of the yellow line. Well done, he listened. So why everyone else couldn't get that right, I don't know, but I couldn't have made clearer instructions. I said follow the blue line down until it turns into a yellow line, and then follow the yellow line down until that disappears, and then join the track. But I don't think anyone was listening on the day, only a select few, so we'll have to see if any penalties will follow that. We'll have to see, because it is a dangerous rejoin to the track, but we will see. Obviously plenty of controversy with that as of late, if you've watched Formula 1 at Canada 2019, but if you've not seen it, I will not give much away. Cyrix then second place, 14 seconds behind Bidzster, so Bidzster been pulling out the gap, and he's still pulling out the gap now from Cyrix. So Bidzster then dominating proceedings in this race, nice and sliding the car through the corners there, through this corner here, gets a boot full of power, and out the other side he's lapped everyone up to Blakeney, up to 6th place. So next one on his hit list is Spapper, but he's quite far ahead, he's on the start finish straight. So Bidzster just coming up to the last complex of corners now, so sliding the car through there, and slides it round this one as well, having some real fun with that car, Bidzster, into the hairpin, and then gives it a boot full of power on the way out. Nice driving there, as Cyrix has closed in a little bit, but obviously Cyrix pushing hard, but he's pushing really hard, he's hit the wall actually, so Cyrix pushes too hard, hits the wall. They don't want to be doing that all the time, otherwise TY will be on him in a few laps, but TY 7 seconds behind Cyrix now, as well at that corner. This car and this track, a really good combination. Long Beach, a classic track in Formula 1. Obviously they used to run it back in the 70s and 80s, but got rid of it in the mid 80s and ended up taking it off the calendar. But it was a lovely track, and obviously this is a shortened version of Long Beach. They used to run a longer version of Long Beach. They used to run almost a 3-mile course, a 3.5-mile course. This one's only a 2.5-mile course, so they took about a mile off the track, but it used to be a lot longer. These straights used to be insane, and obviously it used to be really tight and twisty in some places as well. But this version of the track is still very good, but I do miss the old track. As we go down to the next corner with Cyrix, then through the corner we go, onto the power. There's Bidzster then in front, he's just back-lapped his teammate Bradders, who's got Blake coming up to the back of him now. So Bradders still struggling with this car, there he is in 11th place. Still struggling to get used to the wheel as well. Stacker in 10th, he's 3 minutes behind the leader, so he's been lapped one time I think, or a couple of times. He's in 10th, Growly in 9th. He's still struggling with that car as well. He's got SHAREx about to come and lap him for, I think, the second time in this race. I don't know, probably the second time. So as we go over the line then, Growly Bear with SHAREx coming up behind him. Hopefully shouldn't make it too hard for SHAREx as they go into the corner. Oh, Growly makes it very easy. In fact, he completely outbrakes himself. You've got to watch out as he recovers here. Reverses towards Neil Farrett, but keeps it away from the middle of the track and rejoins. So close one there from Growly Bear as TY comes through to lap him now. He'll get out of the way of TY. There we go. So TY through into, well, through still in 3rd place, but laps Growly Bear. And TY trying to reel in SHAREx, but both him and SHAREx on par when it comes to the pace round here as TY slides the car out that corner there. And down the little mini back straight. Blakeney in 6th. He's still motoring on, doing a good job in this one. Top 6. Obviously Spappa and Andrea, they're 5th and 6th, so Spappa 5th. Italian. Oh, wow, hits the wall and the car just goes in the air. So score 1 for Project Cars Physics. But it goes right into the air there. So really, really weird physics, but that's lost him a bit more time. And if he's not careful, he'll have Blakeney on his case in a few laps. If he keeps repeating the same thing, that is. But Bidzster about to lap Stacker again now. So Bidzster behind Stacker, about to lap him. Just going to wait until after this corner. Probably get him on the exit as Stacker keeps to the left, Bidzster keeps to the right, and Bidzster just powers past Stacker there. So SHAREx now 13 seconds behind, so Bidzster obviously taking it a little bit more easy now. Well, actually, I don't think he is. I think he's still pushing, but SHAREx obviously trying to do what he can, because obviously you get an extra point for fastest lap as well. So obviously SHAREx trying to go for the fastest lap as well as the points. But look, Bidzster at 1:16 last time, SHAREx at 1:14.7. So SHAREx on really pushing here, as Bidzster is as well. Through the corners, sliding his way through into the hairpin. Turns the car in with the clutch up, so it actually does turn in properly, and then down the straight to start another lap. SHAREx now 12 to 13 seconds behind now, so still trying to reel him in, but again he's doing this and he's risking a mistake. But again, you want to really try if you can. Let's see what lap time this is for SHAREx this time. So top left, guys, lap time for SHAREx, the one highlighted in blue, 14.6 that time round, so still keeping it in the 14s, so really trying to catch up to Bidzster if you can. TY of 14.5 the previous lap, so 14.6 this time, so both consistently in the 14s. Bidzster obviously taking it a bit easier in the 16s, but we'll see if Bidzster actually responds to that time. But it doesn't really need to, because he's 13 seconds ahead. But why wouldn't you go for the extra point for fastest lap when you're 13 seconds ahead, when you can afford a mistake? So why not? As Bidzster slides his way out that corner then down the straight. Blakeney there in 6th place. He's about to get caught by SHAREx as well. So SHAREx in his pursuit for 2nd place and fastest lap. Going up against Blakeney in the white car. As SHAREx comes out that corner and Bidzster. You can hear him messing about with the throttle around there, just trying to get the fastest way around as he drifts himself out that corner. So Bidzster down, obviously then trying to push a bit harder here. Trying to go for some more fastest laps here. 14.5 for Bidzster, so he's maxed what SHAREx can do. Whatever you can do, I can do. So Bidzster is obviously responding to the lap times here, trying to make sure he keeps the same gap. So lap 29 out of 32 now. Only a few laps left in this race. Into the roundabout. Nicely round the roundabout. Gets on the power. Round this one we go, and then up towards the next one. We're about to lap someone else. Who could that be? Is that Spappa by any chance? I think it might be. Or is it Andrea or someone? But is it Blake? No, it's not Blake. Blake's got SHAREx right behind him though. Blake's got SHAREx right behind him. So SHAREx obviously wanted to try and get through here. But Blake, you've got to wait until Blake can actually give him room to do so. He's, oh, very close there. Blake slows down on the exit of the corner. Really dangerous place to let him go through, but he got through anyway. But yeah, Blake, you could do with getting off the corner a bit more, mate, before you actually let them through. So bit dangerous that, but all's well that ends well as we look at Bidzster then into the hairpin with Callum behind. He's just lapped Callum then in this race, so he officially laps Callum as they go towards the start-finish line then. Over the timing line, lap 30, he's just started Bidzster. As SHAREx then comes through, he's about to go through there in 2nd place. Bidzster's just done a 14.3, so Bidzster obviously meaning business here. TY then, he's coming up to the traffic, he's fallen right back off Cyrex, so a mistake probably made for TY. But Cyrex does a 15.2 in the top left corner, so obviously that traffic hindered his lap a little bit there, but he's got a bit more of a cleaner track now, so he might be able to go faster. TY then comes up to the back of Neil Farmack, but he's Cyrex's teammate, so he'll not be as easy to pass as Cyrex probably, but we'll see if Neil Farmack's going to play the team game or not. 30, TY goes through, and towards the roundabout, a very technical bit of track and a very chaotic bit of track when you've got a lot of people trying to merge into one. Can be really, really tricky as TY, again, really playing devil with the wall. Really trying to get as close as he can to use maximum, but Neil nicely lets him through there, so blue flags nicely lets him go. And TY then free to chase down Cyrex, but with only a few laps left in this race, I don't see that happening really. As Cyrex there, Bidzster at 13.3, 1:13.3 for Bidzster, so Bidzster again pushing for fastest lap in this one. Really is pushing for fastest lap. Into the corner, Cyrex has done. Cyrex not even at that corner yet, so he might have done a faster lap this time. We don't know. Let's see what his lap time is. It's going to be a 22. So obviously a really bad lap there for him. So he must have got caught up in some traffic. So Bidzster then out front. Let's have a look at Spapper in 5th place. He's on his own in 5th. He's not had a bad race in the top 5. Really close to the wall there as well. So everyone a bit more spread out in this race, guys. So apologies for the lack of battling in this one. It looks like everyone used up all their battling tactics in the first race, so all the antics, sorry, not tactics, but Spapper then hits the wall a bit but gets on with it. But yeah, everyone obviously used up all their racing energy in the first one, and now it's just a run to the flag. As we look at Bidzster then, penultimate lap of the race, about to start the final lap of this race then at Long Beach. Bidzster goes through to start his last lap over the line. Bidzster's on his last lap then, 15.2, so obviously deciding to take it down a few notches now, as Cyrex still pushing on for that fastest lap then. Really going for it here. Really fast through these last few corners and then through the right hairpin. And powers on out of the corner. Down towards the line. Let's have a look at the lap times then again. Top left of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. 1:14.7, so Bidzster still done a 13, but I don't know what Cyrex did earlier in the race, because obviously Cyrex earlier on in this race had some really good pace, so he might have put a faster lap in before while we were watching all the action. But Cyrex goes through in 2nd place anyway. But the man of the race, dominant from lights to flag, it's going to be Bidzster, who's going to come through to win this race as he comes through to catch his teammate. So, coming through to catch his teammate here. And just slides through the last few corners, having a bit of fun now with the car. Up to the last few. Bradders has caught up to Stacker, but they're not on the same lap, I don't think. But Bidzster's going to come up to the line, the last black car in your picture. Bidzster comes through to win his 4th race in a row, 2nd at Long Beach, so wins both races there. So well done to him, as Stacker and Bradders then, Stacker lets Bradders go through to unlap himself, but Stacker there in 10th, as Cyrex then is going to come through for 2nd place. Few people crossing the line in front of him, so Growly Bear's definitely in 9th place there. Cyrex gets 2nd place, he's happy with that, weaves from side to side, happy with 2nd, and then hits the wall at the end. But Neil Farmack will come through in, I think I saw another car there, so he'll be in 7th. Let's have a look, just trying to keep up with the other cars, guys. I do apologise for this, just going to keep up with what we've got. So Callum is going to be in 8th. Callum crossed the line in 8th. Obviously, remember, he's been lapped, so Neil Farmack will be in 7th. Then we've got TY, who's actually come up for 3rd place, so the podium finisher TY in 3rd place for TY. Well done to him. Andrea in 4th. Obviously, not done bad in this race as well. 4th place for Andrea as he comes up towards the line. So Andrea in 4th. Spapper is going to be out the hairpin. He's definitely going to be 5th. 5th place for Spapper, and Blakeney, obviously, he's already crossed the line in 6th place. And Stacker 10th, and Bradders in 11th. But Bradders coming up to the line now, Stacker as well. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that one then. So Bidzster takes the win in that one by 23 seconds from Cyrex in second place. TY finishes in third. Andrea comes home in fourth. Spapper is fifth, as we just go over the page there. Blakeney comes home in sixth. Neil Farmack in seventh. Callum finishes in eighth. Ninth is Growley. 10th is Stacker. Even I know it does say DNF, but it is a finish. And Brad is in 11th. And now on to the point standing, guys. So it is actually 2-4-6, not 2-3-6 for Bidzster. That was my fault for sending Stack the wrong information. But Bidzster on 2-4-6, Cyrex on 1-7-3, Neil Farmack in third, 1-4-6. Then it's 1-3-6 for Andrea and 1-1-6 for Spapper. And in the teams, Cyrex and Neil leading the way on 3-19. Big gap over Bidzster and Bradders on 2-40, and Andrea and Blakeney on 180. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner in that Black Lotus there, Bidzster. He wins the race, and we will see you guys next time for round 6 at Rouen-le-Essar in the Lotus 25. We'll see you then, guys. Take care.